I want to spend a few minutes just quickly talking about satire. Satire is a form of communication that exaggerates the opposite and ludicrous take on something. Um, it treats as a serious strategy or plan the very thing that you know would just ruin the attempt or the goal. All right. So if if you ever are able to be humorous about this, I think we often do it because we are capable of making jokes and enjoying that as humans, as human communicators. It's something we just do. That, interestingly enough, uh, is not really encouraged in academic writing or college writing, but is extremely effective in public speaking and also in writing. It's a bit risky because if the satire has to be so crazy, if you will, but yet it has to be presented as serious, as a serious idea or solution. But the audience has to recognize it as ludicrous. They have to see the humor. They have to see the rebuke that is involved in it. If someone has has a moment to share and presents such a ridiculous idea in such a way that the the audience understands that they are making fun of anyone who doesn't see the right way to do it. All right. They're making fun of that. They're sort of rebuking it, mocking it, because any other way seems a waste. Just wrong in terms of the most efficient way or the right path to go. Okay. Um, for example, all right. For example, let's say somebody in education is writing about an attempt to, or speaking about how maybe to reduce cheating. Okay. The satiric approach would be to actually say that you want to encourage cheating in the classroom because cheating happens everywhere in the adult world. Cheating happens on taxes. Cheating happens on um, uh, reporting, insurance reporting, medical reporting. Cheating happens in many, many ways. Um, and if you wanted to just go ahead and give into that and say, well, this is the best way to prepare kids is just to tell them to actually learn how to cheat better, to to embrace this opportunity in school to get better at stealing the answers, to get better at um, hiding a cheat sheet or something like that. Um, well, it has to be done in such a way so that the reader of the piece realizes that the author really doesn't want that to happen. The author is being facetious. The author is being satiric. The author is being humorous and is maybe rebuking the current ways to stop cheating, um, which might be very ineffective. Uh, for example, here's another example, and these things are coming to me just as I'm speaking, so they're not necessarily the best examples. I think if you simply just Google it online, you'll probably find better examples. But there's a lot of angst in English departments about the students using AI to write their essays. All right, and there's a lot of attempt to somehow block this. Well, now we need students to handwrite the essays. Now we need students to write them in class. Now, if you're doing an online class, this is very hard to do, but now we need students to be proctored and they're handwriting it, or what are some other ways people have tried to stop this? There's a couple software programs that teachers will use, or departments will require that English teachers have their students submit through this software that's going to check if they used AI and all of this. Now, it's getting pretty clear that you're going to have to learn how to use AI for your job. And you're going to have to use AI to know how to write reports and summaries and all sorts of things. And you're going to have to use it. Okay, your employer is going to ask you to use it because you're going to be so much faster using it. So there is a sense where this is going to change in a couple of years, because colleges are going to just have to realize that they can't block this. They're going to have to just use it in the curriculum and train students how to be better editors, better prompt designers, things like that, right? But right now, there's a lot of craziness happening about how to stop students from using AI, and sometimes the structures can be pretty crazy, pretty over the top, right? And someone might just say, look, like I suggested, we should just, the solution is to embrace it and to learn how to use it, even in writing classes. Or the solution would be also to create assignments that are so unique and individualized, and you can do this, all right? You just have to be a little creative as a teacher so that a student really can't use AI to do it. For example, if I set up an assignment where you are writing with me a research paper, and I model my thought for you, and I ask you to write along these lines, it's going to be very hard for you to go onto AI and get AI to write that, because I've already got the idea in my head, because this is something I've written and I want you to rewrite it with me, or something like that. I mean, we can make better writing assignments, right? So if I wanted to draw attention to how crazy it's getting in terms of the pseudo solutions, the fake solutions that are out there, or the solutions that are eventually going to backfire on us, I would write a piece about how we all need to, make sure that we block AI and AI usage by maybe doing something ludicrous. I mean, the solution has to be ridiculous. And I have to present the ridiculous solution in a way that looks and sounds serious, right? So I might do something crazy, like making sure that we tape up the mouth and tape up the fingers so that no one can type or speak to AI, and then we use a language that is alphabet by blinking, and they blink their answers to us. It's just something dumb. Anyway, I want you to think about this a little bit. I want you to read a satirical piece, and then as extra credit, okay, you do need to read the piece on how to write about Africa, just so you can see satire in motion, okay? But there's an extra credit assignment. Your one extra credit assignment for the class, if you want to do it, is to find online the movie Carnage, a Polanski film, Roman Polanski, starring Jodie Foster, Kate Winslet, John C. Reilly, and another person. You can find this online, and it's satirical because it presents a solution being discussion. Okay, let's talk. Let's solve a problem by talking about it, right? That's what they are satirizing. The movie is showing that discussion can be just as violent as somebody picking up a stick and hitting another person across the face with it, and that the way to come back from this moment of violence is maybe even harder if the hurt is done through discussion than it is if someone simply just hits you with a stick and then afterwards becomes your friend again. So it's very important to see how the movie ends, the last 5 seconds of the movie as the credit begins to roll. But the point is that it is an example of satire, and if you want to watch it, you can check it out from your local library, or you can see it online. If you just drop $4 or $5, it's going to be a movie that you're not going to forget. You have to watch all of it, and then you come back and you just take the affirmation quiz. This opportunity is going to be open for you for the rest of the course. So you just need to come back to work folder 7 and take the quiz, and you'll get the bonus points. If you don't get a chance to do it, you are not going to be penalized, okay? Now, you are not going to write anything on satire for me. You're not going to write me a satirical essay or anything like that. It's just right now you're working on your capstone, but I also want to take this opportunity this week and the next to have you do some more reading. I'm a firm believer that to be a better writer, you need to be a better reader and a better watcher. You need to watch film. You need to read other people's writing. And so this is my opportunity to bring that in. And let's practice this. You got to be on both sides of the line. You got to create texts, but then you also have to receive texts. You have to receive text in this many forms: visual text, written text, audible text. Okay, so that's what we're doing here. Okay, thank you for watching.